Welcome to another Crashland walkthrough. My name is Clear. In this video, we're going to look at mission number 11, which is called Minesweeper. This is 7 minutes in length, so pretty good length to it. In terms of weapons, Boomshot and Hellfire, I think, are the main weapons we're going to be using in this mission eventually, once they drop. In terms of contacts, it's really all about these things, which are called Cedars. These will be the bane of our lives in this mission. That's why it's called Minesweeper. They drop these kind of pickle mines onto the landscape, and that's going to cause us all kinds of problems. So it's going to be all about kind of trying to get rid of them as fast as we can. In terms of a perk build, I've based everything around charged, basically. So charged will allow the boomstick to cool down 70% faster, provided that we are at full boost with our pistol. So the mission's going to be all about kind of trying to maximize the boost that we have. To help with that, we've got Lucky, which gives us 30% better drop rate for boost balls. We have Juiced, which gives us an extra 25% juice from every boost ball. And Spoiled, which will give us 1 or 2 extra boost balls for every weapon drop. There's 3 weapon drops in this mission, so we're going to get 3 to 6 guaranteed boost balls in the mission. Okay, so let's start. Let's crash land. Okay, so quite a tranquil start to this mission. We're going to have some peace and quiet for a little bit. We're just going to have these basic enemies to get rid of. So we can enjoy ourselves for a little bit. As I absorb that boost ball, you notice this is glowing gold now. And that basically means that we're in charged mode. So that's the charged perk, which will cause this to cool down 70% faster. But at the moment, we don't have any firing modes for it. So we might as well use the boost as we've got it. You have to have discipline with the charged perk not to use the boost, because most missions, at least if you're not using the perk, it's going to be all about using the boost as and when you get it, like I'm doing here. It just, allows you to stay alive. But okay, so we've got a cedar here, and it's dropping these mines. So the idea here is we want to be getting rid of these mines. The blue mines actually, they will jam the motion scanner. So as long as we get rid of them, we're in the clear. The motion scanner is so critical to Crashland that we need to have that active as much as we can. So this mission's called Minesweeper because it is essentially about kind of following this cedar around and getting rid of the mines as fast as we can. Otherwise, they will cause us all kinds of problems. There's no point trying to kill the cedars because they are invulnerable. Basically, they have like 1 million health. Eventually they'll go away. They'll come back later. Okay, so I was going to use. So I've got the boom shot here. So this is the this weapon that's on the cooldown now. So let's try to kind of get some boosts. So we can kind of try to keep this on cooldown as much as we can. It can be difficult because obviously you want to stay alive. That's the priority. Alright, so we have a boost ball over there, which will put us in charged mode. So now this weapon will be cooling down much faster. So we might as well use it. So you'll notice that it will, it's already back in action. Sometimes you have to use the boost. You have to just kind of, drop down for a little bit. So this is a super boost, and this is basically going to fully charge us up. So I'm going to leave that there for now. Because we're using the charge perk, boost balls are not as important, at least, as long as we're on full charge. So we can use them as explosives, basically, to take things down. Might as well use this boost here because we can recharge fully just using that one. Okay, so thing in this mission is if you kind of become a little bit lax and forget that there's a cedars knocking about, it can very quickly kind of get on top of you. I'm going to use my boost. I'm just for the sake of staying alive and getting on top of things, we're going to make sure that this giant armored tick doesn't trap us in place, because that will be the end of us. As rubbish as these insectoids are, if you're stuck in place, you're in deep trouble. Okay, there's some boost over there. That's the spoiled perk kicking in. I'm not going to use, explosives you could use if you had different perks, but I think for this mission, for the time being, we're going to stick with the boom shots. Okay, so I'm using the scanner here just to keep an eye on what exactly is around us. Now these guys will actually attack. They'll attack any boost balls they see, which is obviously not well. It's okay in this mission because we have so many boosts on the landscape now. We've got a complete deluge of them. Now, one thing about the Cedars is the pickles will actually absorb these, grow in size, and start firing projectiles at us. So we've got to be careful. We can't just kind of hoard them. We've got to actually make use of them, but it allows us to kind of mix the charged perk with a little bit of boost action. So just to, we've got so much here, we might as well just use them. But as I said, so now we've got another Cedar on the landscape. I'm paranoid that if one of these mines, so that mine is going for that. Okay, so I've just been given a gift from the heavens, which is a supercharge, which is supercharged my pistol. Which means I can now basically just completely dominate everything that's here. Completely kind of indestructible in terms of weapons anyway. I'm not indestructible in terms of health, but I'm basically, quad damaging everything at the moment. So let's just take advantage of this and, okay. Back to normal. You'll notice there's a new creature joining us. This is the crusted longleg. Horrible things. We want to break that shell and then get to the juicy bit underneath. Horrible things that will trap you in place and cause all kinds of problems. I'm going to do some minesweeping. I can also hear a spider somewhere, which is not fun. Okay, there it is. Alright, this is getting quite hairy now. So these crusted longlegs, they hate explosives, so I'm going to switch to explosive mode now. Because if I fire an explosive at them, they will not be happening. They will kind of disengage whatever they're doing. Those spiders are stressing me out. So those pale spiders, there's one there. If they manage to trap you in a web, they will immediately come for you and try to eat. Well, they will eat you. They'll kill you very quickly. So you've got to be careful with them. They're one of my most hated enemies, I think, in the game, the pale spiders, just because. So you'll notice there I shot a. If I shoot a grenade at this, it'll scare it off, which gives me a chance to kind of break out. Alright, so this is going to get quite stressful now because we have a Cedar over there, which is once again giving us lots of new presents to work with. Scanner's gone, which means those spiders are now, we don't even know where they are. So let's try to prioritize getting rid of them. I think we're saved. I think I can hear we're getting beamed up, so we've survived. Quite rare for these walkthroughs for me to actually survive, but there you go.